Hello, everyone, and welcome to Indian Startup Times. We are delighted to have you with us today. So, today's conversation is going to be especially interesting because we are talking about the category that most of us don't think about it deeply, especially when it comes to footwear care. So, we will be discussing entrepreneurship, consumer behavior, branding, product innovation, fundraising, expansion, and India's fastest growing homegrown and footwear care brand. So before we begin, I would like to introduce myself first. Hi everyone, I'm Anshika Tayal, sub-editor in Indian Startup Times, and it's my pleasure to host today's conversation. At Indian Startup Times, we bring you inspiring founder stories, startup success journey, business insights, investment perspectives, and conversation with entrepreneurs who are shaping India's innovation ecosystem. Joining me today is our co-founder, Mr. Chandra, who has been instrumental in building Indian Startup Times into a platform that celebrates entrepreneurship, innovation, and emerging businesses across the country. And now it's my absolute pleasure to welcome our prestigious guest for today, Mr. Saurabh Gupta, co founder of SHOEGR. Saurabh is a creative entrepreneur whose journey spans branding, consumer storytelling, and business building. Before founding Sugar, he worked with leading brands including Coca Cola, Prep Ladder, The Viral Fever, and Unacademy, where he developed a deep understanding of consumer behavior and brand strategy. With Sugar, he identified an overlooked gap in the Indian market and transformed footwear care into a premium lifestyle category. Today, Sugar is building much more than products. It's creating a culture around footwear through innovations, education, community building, and product excellence. So, Saurabh, thank you so much for joining us today. We are really excited to learn about your entrepreneurial journey and the incredible work you are doing through Sugar.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be in conversation with you guys. I deeply appreciate what Mr. Chandra is really doing for the startup community as well. So, would love to have this chat. And
Thank you. Thank you. I think it's a pleasure to have you because I think having you and talking about something really which is very close to your heart. So I think a conversation with you would definitely be more interesting, insightful, and definitely it'll take deep us into a founder's journey, how it started, and then what is your vision for that. So I think building on that, would be happy to know about you, a background of yours, and how you started Sugar.
so, basically, I am from a creative background. Before being part of Sugar, I was running a creative agency called Brand Theory, which did branding and marketing, advertising for, majorly we were taking care of all the ed tech brands in the country like Prep Ladder, An Academy, Allen Institute, just to name a few. Over my career spanning close to 12, 13 years in the creative field, I would have worked with over 100 brands, Snapchat, Honda. Just so I've worked with brands from different geographies, different type of products. So that's when I realized that I could build something for myself. So one fine day I was visiting my sister in Hyderabad, and I genuinely saw something that I couldn't unsee. A pair of Air Jordans hanging out on a, what do you say, a kapdo ka tar na? And they were just uh, tied to that kapdo ka tar and was drying there after being put into a washing machine. So that image, stayed with me. Someone who had spent such a serious amount of money on a pair of shoes and they wanted to clean them. And the only solution they could think of, was putting them in a washing machine. And what washing machine does is every time you put a shoe in a washing machine, you're decreasing its life by at least 3 to 6 months every time you do it, because you are loosening the glue that is attaching the uppers of your shoe to the soles. So throwing them in a washing machine is not a remedy that is required to take care of the shoes, because in India that's what we do. We trying to find jugaad of fixing things. So that moment was an insight for me. We don't have a shoe care category in such a big country. We have products, we have products for skin, we have products for hair, we have 5 type of different detergents for our clothes. We have one for winters, we have one for delicates, then we have a one common detergent for everything else, then we have separate bleach for white color clothes, but nothing for shoes. And honestly, more than our clothes, shoes do get much dirtier than clothes. So there was no brand, there was no guidance, no organized solution, and just people improvising. Somebody using toothpaste to clean the shoe, somebody using a gila kapda to clean the shoe. So that's where I realized that my forte of brand building and working with so many brands over the years could really help me. And that's when sat down with my co-founders Ankit and Anuj, and we thought of this is a wide open category. As of now, people are not afraid of buying 8,000, 10,000, 15,000, even 20,000 rupee shoes now. And as the premiumization of shoes is happening, there's this whole white space. There is no product in this category as such. And we just don't want to, launch products or build a product. We want to build a habit, build a category. And that's what we wanted to do. Not just build a product, build a habit eventually and build a category that was not existing in India before. Yeah.
Well, I think that's very. I think uh, you you've seen a gap which I think people or the industry did not have, and then I think you tried to like build something on that.
Yes. So, as successful startups are built by spotting opportunities that most people simply overlook. So, before launching Sugar, what market gaps or changing consumer behaviors convinced you that there are significant potential for a dedicated footwear brand?
See, as I told you, majorly there were three things. One was sneaker culture was exploding in India. So now, when I was young, I was even afraid to ask my parents for 1,000 rupees for a shoe. Right. And now people were buying shoes that were 8,000, 10,000, 12,000, 20,000. I even saw some people having lakhs worth of shoes. People spending on a Dior sneaker, Nike X Dior, that is in lakhs of rupees. So the emotional and financial investment that was not being done in shoes earlier was now being done, and taking care of it would eventually become very, very important, as now it is not just something that you're wearing. It is an emotional as well as a monetary investment for you. So that was one thing that really helped us to take the leap. Second was the existing solutions that were, being used. For example, Surf Excel was being used to clean a shoe, or a toothpaste was being, to clean a shoe, or a gila kapda, or as I told you. So eventually using Dettol. So these are very harsh chemicals. They are not, meant to clean your shoes. They are meant to clean clothes, clean your teeth. So everything has a different, use case. So that's why we realized that shoes need a very gentle, very gentle cleaning for certain parts of the shoe. There's a different kind of materials being used in shoes. Suede is a different material that cannot be, cleaned with a surf excel or anything like that. So that's what we realized, that different shoes need different products, and nobody else was doing it. And a lot, and this needs a lot of education as well. So there are 10 types of different materials in the industry right now. One is leather, one is fox leather, then there is suede, then there is nubuck, then there is mesh, then there is knit. So there are so many different materials, and consumer does not know how to clean them. The only solution they have is to put them in a washing machine, it would get clean. So that's when we realized education is equally as important as the product itself. So that's why we started building a community. And right now we have close to I think 1.3 lakh subscribers on our YouTube channel. So that's where we, double down on to make sure that we give the right products. Along with that, we give, great education as well. And third thing is, e-commerce made it possible for us. E-commerce, quick commerce really made it possible for us, for a niche category, to find its audience, nationally, without needing to go into general trade, spending crores of rupees, on finding places, finding shelves for yourself. So that really helped us, in building the brand. So I think these are the top three things that really helped us in creating this category as such. If I talk about the category, the TAM across shoe care, leather care, foot comfort, storage, if I accumulate all of these, it would be a 16,000 crore market, and it is growing at a speed of 15 to 20% annually. And at our scale, we have just captured, 0.3% or 0.5% of the market right now. So it's a huge opportunity. I think it's a category to be made right now in India. We are just starting, and the upside is really enormous.
So today's India's footwear industry itself is evolving rapidly, as you said, like driven by changing lifestyles and rising consumer aspirations. So how do you assess the current opportunity for footwear care, and what consumer trends do you believe will shape the future of this category?
See, the category is at an inflection point, similar to where skincare was almost 8 to 10 years back. Awareness was building in the skincare thing. Consumer willingness was increasing to pay to proven, treatments or to proven products. See, the organized market is still very nascent in India right now. If I talk even about the shoe market, so the shoe market is also, almost 75% of the shoe market is also not organized in India. So awareness is building, consumer willingness is increasing. What I see in the next 5 years that would really help us in building this category is one, premiumization of uh, shoes, premiumization all over that is happening in India right now. As consumers move up the footwear value chain, care becomes non-negotiable. You don't buy a 15,000 rupee shoes and clean them with soap. That's a big no-no, because that is something that cannot be done. As uh, more and more shoes are being bought, premium shoes are being bought. I am sure you guys would have also seen 1/8 did a great launch. It was all over the internet, everybody was talking about it. So now shoes have not remained like a thing that you wear to work. It's something that you show off, that is something that you really, not show off is not the right word, something that you value. So that is one thing, that could really help us. Then sustainability and longevity consciousness is increasing in consumers. Rather than thinking of what do I buy next, they want, eventually everybody is thinking how would I make this one last longer. So with our products, your shoe that would last only for a year could last at least 4 to 5 years. So that increases the life of the shoe by a lot. So that is one thing. Eventually, shoes not ending up in a landfill is something that would be great for this society in large as well. And moreover, the inflection of quick commerce, everybody is getting everything in 10 minutes, and shoe care is an impulse friendly repeat purchase category, perfectly suited for this 10-minute delivery. It's a use case based product. You are going out for a date, or you're going out to gym, or you're going out to an important meeting, and your shoes are dirty. Earlier, what used to happen, specifically I'll talk about myself. So I would see that this shoe is clean, I would wear this. Rather than having all of them clean at one time, I would see which one is clean, I'll wear that one. So by having these products, your options on what to wear would also increase. So you are not, कि अभी मेरे पास सिर्फ एक ही शू है तो मैं यही पहन के. That also, really uh, helps us. Quick commerce, what we have seen is quick commerce has given us great growth in the last 3 4 months, and uh, we do see quick commerce really helping us out in making sure this category reaches to the right consumers. That these are the main three things that I really think in the next 4 to 5 years would be a game changer for us.
And also, Saurabh, so which is your the right now the category or the age category who are buying your products in maximum numbers?
So right now, if I talk about people between the age of 18 to 35 is our major audience right now, and 35 to 45 is also not far behind. So this is the category that is buying. I like to add on. When we started, so 97% of our consumer were just men. But this year, the one that just finished the financial year, 70% of the ratio now is men and 30% is women. So in 3 years, 3 to 4 years, this number from 3 has increased to 30. And what we see is, as we build more products for women, talk to them more, I think we as a brand also need to talk to women, build products for them. And I think this ratio would be almost 50-50 in upcoming 2 to 3 years. So that's a trend we are seeing. A lot of our consumers are from Northeast, which I never thought would be a case. I thought tier one would be our main consumer. Tier one is giving us great benefit, but a lot of our consumers are coming from Northeast. That's the trends we are seeing. And honestly, tier two is also not far behind from tier one. The difference is only 10%. So as
No, no,
aspiration is, growing everywhere.
no, I think, and also what we have seen, the purchasing power of like individuals have also grown, which has given them, and plus, I think social media has added to it part that would have definitely helped you guys in
Yes.
reaching out to them, letting them know more about product, how to care, what you to do, what not to do.
Also, creating a product is one thing, but educating customers, consumers about uh, an entirely new category is an even bigger challenge. So,
Correct.
what were the biggest challenges in educating consumers about footwear care, and what strategies help Sugar build awareness and trust?
So the biggest challenge is that consumers don't know what they don't know. So they have been using the wrong products for years and they don't even realize the damage they are doing to their shoes. Convincing someone to change habit. So it's a habit. I'm sure you guys have also, clean your shoes. I'm sure there would be a rough rag at your home or some jugaad. I've also done that in my life. So that becomes a part of who we are, how we have grown up. So convincing someone to change a habit requires showing them the before and after, and not just telling them कि ऐसे ऐसे करोगे तो ऐसा हो जाएगा. So we realized a before and after series would work really well for us. So we did, when we launched, we did some crazy stuff like, putting a shoes in a bori of coal, making the shoes a white shoe completely black, then cleaning it up. So that's just one of the cases. So doing crazy stuff like this, YouTube became our most, powerful tool. We did cleaning tutorials, restoration videos, material specific guide on how to use our each and every product. So whenever someone searches, how to clean white sneakers on YouTube, a video would pop up. How to clean my Birkenstock. Because Birkenstock was a big rage, a year back, everybody was talking about Birkenstock. So we realize when what is happening around social media, what the conversation is about, a new shoe is coming up. Like right now, everybody is, conversing. The conversation is happening about the 1/8 shoe. So we have already ordered that shoe, and a video will be coming out in a couple of weeks. So we make sure that we keep on providing consumers with all the questions they have. We encourage them to ask questions. So we get at least 10 to 15 queries daily on our Instagram. Somebody would have put wine on their shoe, somebody would have a permanent marker stain on the shoe. So they ask us how to clean them. So what we have done is build a top quality funnel of 1.3 lakh subscribers, and that content engine is not just a structural engine, it gives us a competitive advantage over other brands as well. In future, if anybody would come and want to build a brand similar to ours, it would be very difficult to build this kind of community. So that gives us a great advantage over anybody else. The second thing that worked out greatly for us was, our product packaging and design. So what I did there was I wanted to stand out different from anybody else. So I built a kind of branding that was very minimal. So earlier, what used to happen, Kiwi, Cherry, all of these brands had a very loud, everybody would have a shoe on their box, everybody packaging would be very loud. So I made a strategic decision, to make sure the branding was very minimal. It was not very loud. So my design background directly influenced this, and that really helped in creating a brand perception. Yeah, I think these are the main things that really helped us.
Also, innovation is clearly at the heart of every successful consumer.
So if I talk about innovation, when we launched, the first thing that we did, was bring in a three brush cleaning system. We were the first one in India to do so. So by that I mean, so your shoe is divided into three parts. First is the upper of the shoe, then is the side sole, which is generally made of rubber, and last is the outsole, that is the bottom part of your shoe, and the inner. So for the uppers, so the entire top of the shoe we made a soft brush, which is really soft, so it could be used on any kind of material. It could be mesh, knit, so even the hardest of say stains, this brush would be able to remove that. Then we had a medium brush, which was for the side sole, and a hard brush, which was really hard for your bottom sole, because वहाँ पे सबसे ज्यादा गंदगी होती है. So we made this three brush cleaning system. It was our first product with which we launched the brand, and that is how innovation is required. We were the first one to build laundry pods. So we realized ki it is very hard for every Indian to clean their shoes by hand. So we build a laundry system, which is we made a laundry bag. So your stitching, your glue that is attached from uppers to sole does not get removed while you're cleaning. So we made a laundry bag. Along with that, we made laundry pods. So putting in a washing, even if you think of putting the shoe in the washing machine, then also your shoes would be safe. So that's how innovation helps. We realized ki whenever somebody open their shoes in a party or somewhere there, and there are 10-20 people sitting, and some people have a foot odor problem. That is a very embarrassing thing for people. So we realized ki we could fix that. So we built a product just to fix that. So there are a lot of things, lot of problems that we as Indians are facing. I can name 10 things like flat feet or foot bunion. These are common problems, and nobody someone is doing this, somebody is doing that. So there is no brand you can think of related to all your shoe and foot care problems. So we want to be just that. Whenever you think of a shoe or foot related problem, you need to think of sugar. That's our goal.
So, as brands begin to scale, capital often becomes equally important. So, could you share your fundraising journey, the milestones you have achieved so far, and how external investment had accelerated Sugar's growth?
So honestly, when we started, we thought running a bootstrap, we would be able to build a bootstrap business. Later on, we realized that building a business that needs a lot of inventory, a lot of fund is required, to market, because we were building a category. It was not something that was already built. So our first investment we raised in a pre-seed round, that was $100,000 from Pedal Start, and the capital really helped us in creating a channel presence, and uh, making sure that we are uh, available on all the quick commerce and marketplaces. So before the fundraise, we were just focusing on Amazon. After that, we were able to scale on Myntra, Flipkart, Blinkit, Zepto, Instamart, all those places. We used it very efficiently. We are EBITDA positive right now, which is rare. Uh, in this stage of our D2C ecosystem. We are currently raising a second round as well, of around 6 crore. Uh, uh, and we have already done almost 40% of it. So our thesis is, what do I say, is straightforward. Our revenue constraint today, the problem we are facing is not demand. Our problem is inventory. So right now we are not able to fulfill the purchase orders of quick commerce, because they need lots of inventory. So the capital we are looking for is not to burn on marketing. What we have realized, this is more of a distribution play than a marketing play right now. Marketing is important, but right now the demand is already there. It is just that we have to be there on all the platforms in full abundance. Anybody who's searching me in Raipur or in Chhattisgarh or in Kanyakumari or anywhere in India who's thinking of, SHOEGR or anything else, SHOEGR could, search us and buy us from anywhere. It could be quick commerce, marketplaces, anywhere. What we realized is every lever we pull of, scale, it could be marketplace, ad spend, quick commerce listings, D2C performance campaigns. This all has the ability to, really make a scale. The 6 crore that we are raising right now would really help us in solving all these problems of inventory right now. So our major issue right now is that we generally get out of stock very early. So it's a good problem to have. It's a problem I think every founder would love to have, but this fundraise that we are doing would really help us in solving these problems and help us, scale further to our next level of growth. And I would like to add on why we are raising this. So there are certain product launches that we have in mind, and we have determined that there are many problems that everybody is overseeing right now in India in this category itself. And once we have the fundraise, we are ready to scale our brand to at least 30 crore any year from this fundraise itself.
So, also speaking about growth, expansion is another exciting chapter for any startup. So, what does Sugar's expansion roadmap looks like over the next few years? Like, are you primarily focused on strengthening your presence across India, or entering global market, or expanding into adjacent footwear and lifestyle care categories?
So right now, I can think of three things. We really want to double down on all the channels we are already live on. So we would really like to scale our Amazon quick commerce platforms, and there's new quick commerce platforms are coming up like Amazon Now, Big Basket. All these ones are also pending. They are inviting us, and we are saying no because we do not have that kind of inventory. So that is one thing. Really want to scale all the current live channels that we have. Quick commerce have the most headroom right now, so we can be like 10 to 12x there in the next 3 to 6 months itself. Just being making sure that our products are there, we could just do 10 to 12x of what we are doing right now on quick commerce. That's one thing. Second is we do believe the growth could also come in from expanding our going offshore, not just being there in India. We do see UAE being a great market, US, UK, all these are a great market, mature market where people understand, why taking care of your shoes is important. So that is one thing we would love to do. Then right now we have done everything in the sneaker care department as of now. That's our phase one. In our phase two, we would like to bring in products for leather care as well. So it could be shoes and bags for women, for men, belts, wallets, all those type of things. We would like to build products to elongate life of these products. And eventually our phase 3 would be building products for foot care. There are so many issues that nobody is talking about or building products around, so we would like to cater to all those problems. And eventually building products for storage. I'm sure all of us, when we go out to travel, and we always carry our shoes in a thali along with us in the bag. So that is something we would like to solve. There are a lot of things. Then the people are living in flats. Shoe storage is always a concern. Loads of shoes, small shoe rack, which would have, let's say, 50 pairs in that. So how we can solve all those problems? That's one thing that we would like to achieve over the next few years. So these, I think, are the main 3 4 things that we would like to do eventually. To really scale the growth of the brand. And there are more things. Then the service is another form. Service, once you have built a name, you have built a category, then service could come in. There are a lot of things that could be done, to really scale the overall category. Right now, as I told, we are just 0.2 or 0.3 to 0.5% of the whole system. So once we have reached a certain scale, then we can think of all the other things. But right now, my main goal is to make sure that we are available on all channels throughout India, and that's where our next lever of growth is coming from.
Saurabh, I have a question over here. So as now already Amazon has all and Flipkart also entering into the quick commerce thing. So how do you think that the market already the competitors like companies right now, they Zapto and others, they would be filling. So it would be like more of a competitive market that would be we'll be seeing across.
Yeah, I do see quick commerce would see great competition over the next few years. Amazon is really all guns. I had a word with it.
Yes.
So they are really focused on in the next 12 years, they want to beat Blinkit. So that is something that's on their mind. Flipkart Minutes is also doing great. So all these brands are, coming up into quick commerce because eventually now people don't want to wait. What we have also seen with our own D2C website is, people check us out on Meta, go to our website and eventually go to quick commerce to buy us. So they don't want to wait. So that is something we are also trying to, make sure the deliveries happen the same day. Even if not able to get it delivered in 10 minutes, we are making sure that we get products delivered the same day. So that's the trend. The future is, all quick. Everybody wants everything in 10 minutes. And especially as I told you in our category, I have a very dirty pair of shoes or my shoes smell bad or I have a foot pain or whatever problem I would have, if there's a problem that could be fixed in 10 minutes, why would I wait for 2 days? So that's something that,
And also I think it would be definitely helping brands like you and also because
yeah,
your
yeah.
reach will increase more far.
So what I have realized in the last 3-4 months since we got onboarded on quick commerce, our sales have grown up by 30 to 40% just because of quick commerce. And we are not able to fulfill their purchase orders because everybody is, going to quick commerce. They're searching for products. If they have a problem, they're searching for that problem there itself. I would have a problem, say, generally people don't buy white shoes. Now they are willing to buy those shoes. Everybody wants a white pair of shoes in their, collection. So
Mm.
now you have a white shoe, now you want to clean them. So that is a question they would ask quick commerce, or even if now with AI as well, people are asking what to do on how to clean these shoes. Then AI is suggesting them you can buy these products. So this is a whole change that is happening, and that is really helping us as a brand, to really scale up.
Definitely. Acha, one more question came over here because now earlier like SEOs were there, Google people used to go and search on Google, but now as it has changed with ChatGPT and others, AI is there. So what are those things that you guys are doing in terms of being present over there on these AI platforms, ChatGPT and others? I think that that's also a very thing to be organically. You should be coming over there. I think for that,
Yes.
yeah,
So just make sure your see, one is availability. Your name should be there in the market. One. Second is lots of people have lots of questions, so they would go to Reddit, they would go to Twitter, all these places to ask questions about, how would I clean this pair of shoe? They would go to YouTube. So what we try to do is we try to answer all these queries all throughout the internet. So all these AI platform, Google, all those places, their algorithm is such. If you're answering these questions, you are there. Your YouTube is there. All these things are in place. Eventually, they would populate you. आप आओगे ही आओगे. Chat GPT would say कि this is a brand that you guys can trust, you guys can buy. So if I talk about my user ratings throughout Amazon, quick commerce, or my own website, I have some great reviews. We have this kit that's called an ultimate kit, which has the most number of ratings or reviews in this category, the complete category. So all these things, really help us in being whenever somebody is, searching on Chat GPT or Claude or any of these AI platforms, we always come up. As this is a category in creation, there are not many brands. So I'm not competing with, like a skincare brand. There are hundreds of them. So that's not the way this category is at this moment right now. We are just 2-3 players in the market, and we all are having a healthy competition. And I do see there will not be one brand that can make this category. We need these players, to really build this category and take this forward.
definitely.
So one trend that has undoubtedly benefited brands like Sugar is the rise of sneaker culture and creator communities. So, how have sneaker culture, creator led communities, and social media influenced Sugar growth, like marketing strategy and product evaluation?
So first of all, sneaker culture gave us our founding customers. So what they gave us is these people had already had knowledge, willing to spend on right product. The core community was the were the best people to take feedback from. So when we started, we needed a lot of feedback on how to improve the product, how what products they were looking for. So targeting the sneaker care community in the starting really helped us in building the products. So it was not a one way communication where we were just giving out products to them. I used to call almost 15 to 20 customers of ours daily, like this is what we have built, did you like the kit or not, what we can improve on, what other products do you need. All these things really helped us in creating the products kind of catalog we have right now. And this also helps us in creating future products as well. So till today, I do this every day. I talk to at least five customers of ours every day. Now I don't talk to 15, 20. I just do five. But I make sure what I do is ask them, "Ki, we are doing this. How did you like this? What problems you are facing?" For example, great insight for our suede kit came from one of the consumers, like this, the kit you have of yours on that we initially launched was an ultimate kit that worked on suede. But they said every time we are cleaning suede, every time we make it wet, eventually it is losing its shine and luster. So that's where we realized ki we could make something that every time you need not to make your suede wet. So we made a dry suede kit. So eventually, that is increasing the life of suede. And from that insight itself, we came that eventually suede becomes dull and it loses its shine. So we created a product called Sugar Revive. So what it does is once you spray it on your suede shoe, the shine, the color comes back of the suede. So it becomes as good as new. So these are the things, when you talk to your consumers, really help you in creating products, in creating a community. We have done so many videos on YouTube, so we get a lot of questions from there. We do a lot of events. We go to all these sneaker events. Event is happening in Pune next week itself, Sneakerhood. So we are going there. So being part of this community is really really important to us, because that is where this is the community that helped us in building this as a business. We took a bet on this community, and that really helped us in building something that is long lasting. We would be deliberately investing in next financial year. We would be partnering up with sneaker culture influencers. So we want to create authentic content. So that is where we are coming from. The goal isn't reach anymore. I'm sure that is with every band. So reach is not really that important now. It is about creating a trusted community, creating something, a community that feels we as a brand belong to them, or they as a consumer belong to us. And eventually, once we have built this community, the mainstream audience would eventually, consumer would follow this. So that's where we are coming from.
So, now before we conclude, I would love to ask a question that many aspiring entrepreneurs watching this interview would benefit from. So, what lessons have you learned while building Sugar, and what advice would you offer to founders who are trying to build brands in completely new consumer categories?
That's a good one. Firstly, in my category, I could talk about what I have done. I think some might resonate with the answer. First, I think content is infrastructure for us, not marketing. If you're building a category, educating them about your product before you sell your product is really, really important. Start now, do it today. Don't think you can do you have a tomorrow. I don't think so. You have a tomorrow. Now is the only answer I have. Second is distribution clarity before distribution width. So first, take one platform, take five products. Don't do 50 products and 10 different platforms at once. Just do one platform, 5 products, 4 products, scale it, make it big, then go to the second platform. Because the more you diversify yourself, eventually the inventory that you would need to, scale all these 10 platforms would be huge. And secondly, making sure that you nail all those 10 platforms at once is very, very difficult at an early stage. Just focus on 1 or 2 platforms, scale them up, do 4 5 products, not more than that. Scale them to a size you think that I have killed it. Then, keep on adding products, then keep on adding new. Once you have a team with you, initially as a startup, I think having a great team is not a luxury that everybody has. So just be frugal. That's one thing. Frugal operations and fat margins is something that would give you a leverage while fundraising as well. Build for profitability. Don't think of, burning is the only way you can build a brand. That's not a case. Identify the gaps. Look where your opportunity is. And once you see an opportunity, don't wait. Perfection is a mirage. So never go for perfection. Every day, make sure ki you are posting something. You're always there for your consumer. Like I told earlier, talk to your consumer. That is very, very important in building a brand, because we are looking from a brand from a top view. The consumer is using the brand every day, so it is very important to know your consumer. Then I can think of just being there, being patient, being passionate. Every day would bring in your own problems, own struggles. Don't think of them as a problem. Think of them as a opportunity to solve, opportunity to learn. Because building your own brand, building your own startup would bring in challenges, would make sure that you feel that ye kaise hoga, wo kaise hoga. But eventually, when you start doing things rather than thinking of ye kaise hoga, ye aise hoga. So once you have that kind of mentality and that kind of thinking, eventually everything would fall into place. And always have cash in bank if you're building something. Think of how to raise capital. Raising capital is also very, very important. That is a mistake I did. We were a year late in raising funds, so we could have been at least 3 to 4x or 5x bigger than what we are today this year. So my whole journey is 2 years delayed of just one thing, that I would be able to bootstrap it. So see the future beforehand. That's one thing great entrepreneurs do. Where you want to be in 5 years, 10 years down the line from today. Think of those things and build on that. I think these are the most important things anybody as an entrepreneur could imbibe and do these things. And I'm sure eventually, if you're passionate about something and you're not willing to say no, that you are like, I will make sure this happens, and eventually it will happen. That's how I think world works. Just be relentless.
One question that I think it's very important that as sugar has grown and evolved in these years, so how you as a founder, as a person that you have also evolved with it. So would you like to share your experiences, your learnings?
See, as I told you, I was from a creative background. So I always had this passion about, marketing and advertising. That's the core passion I had. But when you sit in a co-founder seat and you are the one running the brand, so then you would also have to let go of so many things. You can't be doing so. In my initial 3 to 4 months, I was, too much into marketing and advertising and in day-to-day operations of those things, making sure those things are happening well. But eventually I realized, if I would just be doing this, I would not be able to build a brand. Building a brand takes you, so the most important thing that you can do is to be free. As a founder, you have to make sure you are free in a sense. I'm not saying that you do not have any work. Free in a sense, you're not doing day-to-day operations. You're thinking about what to build, how to build it, who will build it for you, finding the right people, and making sure the overall culture, the culture of the place that you are building, the employees you have, the factory you have, whatever you have, the culture is on point. By that, I mean everybody is working towards one goal. The goal is not to sell the most number of products, the goal should never be that I have to, build a 500 crore company or a 1,000 crore company or a 2,000 crore company. Once you would have that goal, what I think, then you're not doing right, because that should never be the goal. The goal should be for us is to make India believe that just keep moving, don't stop. So that's the goal for us. We will make sure that everybody in India, while they are running, walking, or doing anything, they feel like nobody is there to stop them. So that's our goal. We'll make sure we build products around that. Our culture is like that. So at office or even in our factory where the packaging is happening, everybody has this one goal in mind, that we are building products, we are providing a consumer with an education, or that would help them keep moving forward in their life. So that's, once you have this set of goal, I'm sure your brand would be big. And what I have realized is you have to be very patient, be really uh, driven towards a goal. So now what I have realized is it is not like a 3 or 4 years journey, or a even 5 years journey. It's not like that. Whatever time it would take to build something that is long lasting, to build something that every Indian uses, you whatever time it takes, you have to give it that much amount of time, and be just make sure that you're not cribbing about stuff. Just be happy with whatever you're doing. Just have that self satisfaction. Today when we started, we launched with 330 kits that sold out in a week. Today I am selling more than 330 kits are sold in 3 hours, or even less than that. So so that is something, that's an achievement. If I'll keep cribbing कि अभी मेरा इतना revenue नहीं है, ये नहीं हुआ, rather than seeing the positive side of things, where we were when we started and today where we are, it's a great picture to be in. The problems we are facing, everybody does not have that kind of problem. We are facing inventory issues. That's a great problem to have. So it's just the way of looking at things. That is the most important thing. Whatever problem you have, look at it in a very positive frame of mind, and eventually problems are made to be solved. We as humans have evolved to know to solve the problems. Whatever have come with us, व्हील भी हमने ऐसे ही बनाया, हम चांद पे भी ऐसे ही गए हैं. तो ये तो छोटी मोटी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. वी आर डूइंग स्मॉल स्टफ, वी आर नॉट चेंजिंग द वर्ल्ड. सो दैट्स व्हाट आई हैव लर्नड over these days. I would like to end up with saying that from, when we started to where we are today, and eventually where we want to end up, we want to be the go-to brand for any shoe or foot related problems to every Indian and eventually all over the world. So I'm sure you would see sugar in the next 8 to 10 years, one of the most common industries. As a category, we would be among the biggest to be known, like skincare is today. So hoping for great things, and it was great chatting with you guys.
So thank you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your incredible entrepreneur journey with us. And of course, it was truly inspiring to understand how you have built Sugar, not just as a footwear care brand, but as a movement that is changing consumer behavior and creating an entirely new category in India. So, thank you for giving us your time.
Pleasure talking to you guys. Thank you.